So it's been a few months since either myself or Teco have released any kind of an update video on the Crisis on Earth 1 fan game, partly because of some unfortunate disagreements about some stuff, I don't know. But I know a lot of you guys are getting antsy looking for new info. I keep seeing a lot of comments asking me to do a new video about the current status of the game, with a lot of them calling Teco a scam artist for some reason. Why? I never even mentioned anything about how he scammed anyone. Seriously, guys, Teco is not a scammer, he's never been a scam artist, and he will never be a scam artist. Libby Studios, the guy who used to run the game NerdVision's developing now, that one was a scammer, but he's gone now. Neither Teco nor NerdVision, just to be clear, are scam artists.
Sound good?
Either way, Teco and I squashed our beef over my old leaked video, so now I'm free to do a video on some of the latest updates on his game, which is awesome because there's been an insane amount of changes that happened to the game since either one of us talked about it, and I definitely wanted to do a video on it. Probably the biggest change is that Teco's actually limited the scope of the game for the second time since it was first revealed on YouTube. Remember when it was going to be this huge game with its own story and tons of locations to explore? Then it got scaled down to a bunch of locations still, but with no story, instead featuring adaptations of a few of some of the best fights and crossovers in the Arrowverse. Well, now Teco and the team have scaled things down even more, and they're now just adapting the Crisis on Earth X crossover. That means no Constantine, no Dominators, no Earth 1 or multiverse locations other than what was shown in the crossover, and no time travel, among other things.
Oh, that sucks.
I know, right? It really sucks, considering how awesome a lot of the revealed characters and locations looked, but that having been said, there is the possibility that Teco and the dev team might add in everything else they came up with as DLC or something later on down the line, right? Either way, the reason behind the downscaling, according to Teco, is because everybody working on the game wanted to have something fun and playable ready in time for this year's crossover, and adapting everything like they'd been planning for in time for that just wasn't feasible. It's still a little disappointing that we won't be able to run around the multiverse, not gonna lie, but if you've kept up with Teco's update videos, then you already know that he and the team can do a great adaptation of the Crisis on Earth X story, and hey, if the downscaling means they'll be able to get something decent out sooner, then more power to them. Of course, just because the game's limiting its scope doesn't mean that any content's being removed. Well, actually I guess it kinda is, but there's a lot of stuff being added in too. Remember how smoothly wall running looked back when the game was still being built in Unity? Well, Teco and the team managed to add it back into Unreal Engine, and it looks even better than it did back then. There's also a brand new blood effect thrown in too, and it looks pretty good. Probably a little too much, all things considered, but it still looks great. I'm just hoping it only gets added to certain attacks, like Green Arrow shooting somebody in the head, for example. I mean, I'm trying to play a game about superheroes. I'm not looking to play an Arrowverse themed Mortal Kombat clone here.
Fatality.
Teco's also been steadily announcing the progression of adding fully playable levels into the game. Now, I haven't really seen much of this stuff as of the time this video has been uploaded. I've really only been seeing parts of this work being done, like on the warehouse and the church locations. Supposedly a couple tutorial levels are done too, but like I said, I haven't really seen any gameplay using all these assets yet, so I'm not entirely sure how they look. Now, all that's definitely cool, but that's not even the best news. See, Teco somewhat recently gave out access to a small-scale demo of the game to helpers and the dev team, and I actually got a copy of it. For real, I actually get to play some of Crisis on Earth 1. It's fucking awesome. Anyways, like I said, the demo is very small scaled, meaning you can only play as the Flash and you can only run around Central City. That having been said, there are a few cool things to check out around here. A few of the other characters, like the Dominators, Supergirl, and Constantine, are hidden around different parts of the city, and you have the option of visiting both Barry and Iris's apartment and the CCPD. You even get these really badass loading screens every time you go to a different location. Look at them, they're awesome. Seriously, I hope Teco does one of these for every location you can visit in the full game. That'd be awesome. Now, the city itself really isn't all that active. There's a few citizens, almost no greenery, and only one car driving around, but honestly, it's fine for a demo. You're too busy most of the time running around and just enjoying your time as the Flash to really notice any of that stuff anyway. Speaking of, let's talk about the most important part of the game, the controls. I know we've had games featuring characters that can move around at super speeds in the past, they've been done pretty well, but this is the Flash we're talking about. I think we all know that being able to get the controls right is extremely important. Thankfully, I can say that Teco easily pulled this off. The controls feel very fluid and easy to pick up, and the super speed effects look great, even when the gameplay is a little choppy. Even with nothing else to do in the city, it's tons of fun to just run around at super speed. Seriously, just watching a video about it isn't doing it justice. You need to get your hands on this game and play it for yourself yourself to really wrap your mind around how awesome it is to finally be able to play as the Flash. You even have access to 2 different speedster abilities, each one accessible by right-clicking after pushing a button on your keyboard. Pushing 1 lets you slow down time, and pushing 2 lets you throw lightning. Even though both are really fun, I'd say it's way more fun to slow everything down while you're running, especially since you can ram into stuff and send it flying. So as you might have noticed by this point, there are a good bit of graphical bugs and glitches here. Buildings are either missing the fronts or can be seen floating or flying. The AI can sometimes cause people to get stuck in front of each other. Random doorways seem to disappear, leaving you stuck inside some of the buildings. And because there's no barrier around the edge of the map, you can just run off and fall forever. I wouldn't really sweat any of these though. I mean, it's not like any of these are going to carry over to the final version of the game. And even if they did, it's not like any of them are really game breaking, since you can press R to reset the game and warp back to the starting point, which for whatever reason happens to be outside the CCPD. Honestly, I hope Teco never fixes these, or at least gives us a glitchy mode or something to play around with, because honestly it's actually kind of fun to screw around with things in the game. One of my favorite bugs is how, even though combat isn't a thing in the demo, you can use the lightning throw to ragdoll the Dominators and then use their lifeless body as a springboard to reach the top of buildings and stuff. I tried to do it so I can show it off on camera, but it takes a while and I eventually got tired of trying to figure it out, so if Teco wants to show it off in his video, he's welcome to try it. Either way, like I said earlier, this demo's awesome. Seriously, I don't care what direction Teco and the dev team are taking the game. So long as it plays like the demo, I can guarantee you guys it'll be worth the wait. Major props to Teco and everybody else on the dev team. You guys have definitely made something that I think is going to make the fans very happy. But anyways guys, those are all the latest updates on Teco's Arrowverse game. If you guys liked what all you got to see in this video and you want to keep up with updates in real time, then go ahead and sub to Teco's channel and check out the game's official Discord. Both of those links are going to be in the description down below. And if you're interested in helping in the development of the game, then you might be interested to know that Teco is looking for voice actors again. So if you're interested, make sure you can do a decent impression of someone from the crossover and hit him up on his channel or on Discord for the details. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and if you're new, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button too. I've also got links to my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon in the description. You should probably check those out too. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can click the link to my last video. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Alright, and I will see you all next time.